Here's what everyone should know about the people of Gaza. The goal of most Palestinians in Gaza is to leave Gaza and move to Israel. Most Palestinians in Gaza do not believe that Gaza is their real home. They want to move to Israel and change Israel's name to Palestine. It's interesting that after President Trump suggested that some Palestinians in Gaza should be able to move to Egypt or Jordan and have better lives there than the Hamas government has given them in Gaza, suddenly a lot of people who support the Palestinian goal of no more Israel are now saying that Gaza is the home of the Palestinian people who live there. So this is what it took. Yes, Gaza is the home of Gazans. Their home is not in Israel. If Gazans want to make Gaza great again, it can't happen if they believe that their true home is in Israel. Do you agree? Let me know in the comments. The Prime Minister of Qatar just revealed something that the whole world should know. He said that Qatar wanted Hamas to face no consequences for the October 7th massacre, and that Qatar was pushing for Israel to surrender to Hamas one day after the massacre. Those weren't his exact words, but it is exactly what he meant. This is what the Qatari Prime Minister said about the hostage ransom deal. We've been calling since the beginning, since October 8th, that we need to get this done as soon as possible. Been calling since October 8th. The Qatari Prime Minister thinks that the proper response to the October 7th massacre was to get a deal done on October 8th that would ensure that Hamas leaders would survive what they had just unleashed, that thousands of convicted Palestinian terrorists would be released from Israeli prisons, and that Hamas's army would remain completely intact and would be in a position to carry out another massacre at a time and place of its choosing. That's what Qatar wanted to get done after the greatest massacre of Jews since the Holocaust. Qatar is Hamas's agent. Qatar told Hamas to keep the hostages until Hamas gets a deal that allows Hamas to remain in power in Gaza. I am stunned that I have to be the one to explain this to everyone. Wake up. People are confused about Qatar. Are people under the impression that on October 7th, 2023, Qatari government officials in Doha walked down the street to the office where Hamas leaders were watching Al Jazeera and thanking God for the success of Hamas's invasion and said to them, guys, what you did was really bad. God does not approve of your actions. Release the hostages immediately. Because that's not what happened. At 3:15 p.m. Israel time, on October 7th, 2023, long after it was clear that Hamas was carrying out barbaric atrocities and taking hostages, the Qatari Ministry of Foreign Affairs published a statement that said Israel was solely responsible for the ongoing escalation. It's still on the Qatari Foreign Ministry's website. Qatar condemned Israel on October 7th. Again, I don't know why I am the only one saying this. Perhaps you can tell me. A really funny moment happened on Sky News. UNRWA spokeswoman Juliette Touma was asked, can you guarantee that UNRWA is not infiltrated by Hamas? Listen closely to her answer and see if you can figure out what word she does not say. She said, look, we are a United Nations agency that abides according to international reviews by the humanitarian principle of neutrality. The word that she does not use in her answer is yes. She did not say, yes, I can guarantee that UNRWA is not infiltrated by Hamas. That's because UNRWA is infiltrated by Hamas. UNRWA is a Palestinian organization. Its entire workforce is local Palestinians. In Gaza, UNRWA relies on Hamas for security, and Hamas relies on UNRWA for food and supplies. The people who work for UNRWA and the people who work for Hamas are from the same families. Sometimes they are the same people. UNRWA is a Hamas employment service. It should be dismantled, and Palestinians should take responsibility for their own future rather than demand the whole world pay for them to be stuck in the past.